We appreciate you for staying right here with us. Let's move on to our next story. The federal government has filed a 6-count charge against 9 individuals accused of publishing false information on October 16, claiming that the Department of State Services, that's the DSS, has laid siege to the National Assembly over efforts to impeach Senate President Godswill Akpabi. Filed on October 21, the charge marked all of that names the incorporated trustees of Order Paper alongside key staff, including founder Akpabio and 4 others as defendants. The allegations include cyber defamation, publishing false news with the intent to cause public fear, and defamation under the Criminal Code Act. The prosecution claims that Order Paper and its agents knowingly published false and defamatory statements, harming the reputations of the DSS and Akpabio. The defendants face charges under various sections of Cybercrime Act 2015 and the Criminal Code Act, but no arraignment date has been set yet. How do you think this will affect media reportage? Lovely.
This is a very serious situation. I have different divergent view to this story. First of all, I want to also call on reporters or the media personnel, before publishing or releasing any information, do your best to ensure that that particular information is authentic, is valid. You have proof, you are sure, before making it public. That's one. Then another area I like to look at is the promptness, the smartness, the speedy reaction of the Senate, in charging these media personnel or the media houses. Something that happened on the 16th. Of course, I read that news on social media, but I was unable to trace the source. I just read it passively and all of that. Now, from reports, it was aired on the 16th, and just 5 days, within 5 days interval, a court process is already on. And then a simple question comes to mind. If our lawmakers can be this active, how come on some other pertinent issues that has to do with the masses, that the masses are clamoring and then urging prompt response, they seem to exhibit some form of let me use the word I don't care attitude, laissez-faire attitude to some of those issues. That shows us how self-centered, how selfish, how insensitive some of our government personnel, are. Like I said earlier on, it is not a good one. False information is something that should be discouraged. It should be discouraged. But the speed, the rate at which they are addressing the issue, we read about 9 count charges or so on this particular thing. That's it. The Senate have done well, but I'm also aware that that particular information came from a source. Before the spreading of that information, I'm sure the Senate, each of the legislature has legislative arm of government, I'm sure they have their approved media personnel, and no information goes out of that particular system without it being published or released to the public or to brother or sister media houses or colleagues by that their personnel. So
you're saying there's no smoke without fire?
Definitely, that's my point. So if a good investigation is to be made, and sincere one for that matter, I want to believe that before that information was released, something must have been going on or something must have happened internally. And then outside that, let me also seize this medium to appeal to the Senate, to the lawmakers, to tamper justice with mercy, because no one is above mistake. We can still recall even our Senate President, Senator Akpabio, There was a time he also made a statement that was heard everywhere, and we now heard that it's a prayer request that was sent to your mail, you know, things like that. And I'm also aware, very recently, there was a trending statement also by our distinguished Senator Akpabio, that why they are suffering, why they are crying, we were enjoying, we are chopping. What we do not know is if that was fabricated, if it was clone, what's the word now? If that was a product of photoshopping or video editing and all of that, but we didn't get any counterclaim, you know, against that particular statement. So that statement, I know what that statement cost Nigerians, especially myself. I was surprised. I said, wow, if my Senate President can make this kind of statement, people are lamenting, people are crying, Nigerians are dying, right. And then my Senate President is now making this kind of... So nobody is above mistake or using words inappropriately. But once it is done, I think there should also be room for consideration and then check if the person has some form of remorse and all of that. So I want to quickly appeal to the Senate. Once there is an apology, what I was expecting was to give a time frame, you know, for the person, the source, to now release a statement, you know, trying to tell the people that the statement that was initially released was unverified, it was false. And once that is failed to, once he or she failed to do that, then the court process can then commence.
Kenneth, you're also in the media space, if not broadcast, social media space. Please, let's have your thoughts on this story on the reportage and Akpabio.
Yeah. Thank you. First thing, I think this is a case. I want to know if they are whistleblowers or if they're actually doing their job, because I know the media is the fourth arm of government. You cannot just come and make statements like that has not been founded on truth. Okay, before somebody makes the Senate President is not an ordinary person. You see, that is why they go into swift action to make sure that they are being prosecuted. And it is something about having a regional source from the government's house or from this government. So whatever thing, journalists should be given maybe like a press conference or a press release where from time to time they can ask questions about what is happening. Okay, but this looks like the journalists are just sounding a warning, telling us that they want to impeach the Senate President Akpabio. So there should be an action taken or what? Okay, I don't think that is their duty or their business.
Whose business now?
The same country. Can you hear me?
You don't think you don't think that is the business of the journalists?
Yeah, actually, what I'm saying, why I said that is this sounds like a whistleblowing to me.
Okay.
You get before making such reports, this it should be founded on true information.
Okay.
You can't just talk about impeachment of a third person in the country and you expect it to be handled with a kid's gloves. No. So information is power. Information is key. This is very misleading. And two, the solution to this is that from time to time the government should be having press conferences with the media. Yes, with the media. If there are some questions, if there are some suspicions that they are not really
clear about,
it should be asked, it should be brought up. Then the air should be clear.